Hey Yogi, how's it going? Welcome to Vizlib Appy Hour.
Hey Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited for this one. Cryptocurrency, it's big. People are probably kicking themselves that they didn't invest early on, or I'm sure we'll have some stories. I know I have a few to share, and maybe you do too, or our audience does. But welcome everybody to Vizlib Appy Hour. This is our almost weekly show. We try to do it every Thursday if we can, where we have guests and different people around Vizlib show off what they've been working on. Maybe we take things apart or we make them better with trying different visualizations. And so happy to have Yogi here as our guest. He's been I think a longtime viewer of Appy Hour, right? We've seen you in episodes since nearly the beginning.
I've loved every single one I've got to see, especially the ones about video games and Pokemon cards. Always take the reign, but Squid Games, I won, so it's hard.
Yeah, we're having fun with it, and it's things that we normally do as a small team. Our group has a lot of fun with this, so we thought, well, let's go out on the ledge and show off what we're doing. And so sometimes we go down paths that just don't work, but that's all part of the experience, right, of building out visual analytics and dashboards. So when you said, yeah, you want to join, I'm like, well, what do you want to show off? And you showed me a little snippet of this, and I'm like, perfect. This is the great audience for this. We have comments coming in. Josh is in the background, so he knows he was part of the Squid Game too, of course. So again, thanks for coming. What do you have? This is Appy Hour, so we always try to have a little bit of a drink. Doesn't have to be alcoholic, of course. So what do you got? Your classic water. I have it's getting green screened out. A lemon sparkling water. I've had enough coffee today that could run me for a few days, so I'll try not to talk as fast as we did on the Squid Game one. Somebody noted that you had me at Squid Game and analytics. Yeah, Eric, you should go back and check out the previous episode. I think it was so fun that Josh and I are going to run it again, and maybe have some different games that go on too versus just the random part of it. But Yogi, we'll get your feedback on where else we might be able to take that. And I guess a hint, you have an application today that is somewhat game-like in its use, right? It's a challenge. So we'll be getting into that in a little bit. But you want to introduce yourself? Where are you based? What do you do? All that good stuff?
Sure. So I'm Yogi Achilleos. I am a new founder of HY Analytics. My passion in life is helping people with their analytics. I've ranged from everything from Qlik to using Vizlib. I love the new Strato demo, by the way. You guys did amazing. And
thank you.
Yeah, so my passion in life is just helping people build beautiful analytics so that they can help their company succeed. I'm located out of Dallas, Texas. Wonderful, wonderful Dallas, Texas. Today it's 80, but tomorrow it's going to probably be like 30. So
yeah, wasn't it cold the other day we were chatting?
Yesterday it was 40 something. So today it's 80.
So. Making up its mind if it's going to be winter, right? Oh, I remember those. My parents used to live. They moved around a little bit in Texas, but they were always in the DFW area. So I would come down and we'd go to Grapevine and see like the Christmas kind of street. And one year it was just iced over, and there was nobody on the road except we're from Michigan, so the Michiganders and the Northeast crowd they'll brave anything. But the Texans, they were in lockdown. It felt like nobody was out, stores were closed. I'm like, it's just a little bit of ice.
It's been a few years where we've been locked in our homes.
Yeah.
In fact, the Super Bowl we had, it froze over.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Fun stuff. Yeah.
You never really think that. Everybody thinks Texas is just always scorching hot. Yeah. And well, it definitely is in the summer. Been there too, and I try to avoid it. Cool. So let's get into what you built. You're going to be sharing your screen, which is awesome. Usually I have to go out on the ledge and build some stuff. So if you're ready, switch over to your app and then, kind of orient us to what's going on here. I see, some visual stuff here. This is all Qlik Sense, and it's yes. Bitcoin versus Ethereum, like champion and challenger.
Yes. So this is, okay, just to give you guys background information. So this is what we call a decision engine. So in analytics, we have the capability to actually allow the analytics itself to make a decision. This is the most basic decision engine you can probably build. So what it's doing is it's taking a current champion, which in our case, we're going to start with Bitcoin since most people know about Bitcoin. And then we're taking a challenger, which is for the first one going to be Ethereum. And we're going to let them duke it out. By clicking the next button, it's actually going to run through all the decision engine logic to figure out who the winner is. Now, just I want to give some background information. I built this in maybe an hour or two, so it doesn't have a full set of beautification that most applications would have, but it fully utilizes Vizlib. I did not incorporate write back feature. I know a lot of people love write back, but since I am working on SaaS environment, it's just purely with Vizlib's other capabilities. So
yeah, if you guys, and so too, we are actively working with Qlik on write back in cloud. So this is Qlik SaaS. We're in the early adopter program or early access program to work on this, and fingers crossed we'll have this within a month, maybe it's a little bit longer, and I'm putting our devs on the hook. But I know we're getting lots of requests. It seems like you've probably seen this too. Your audio might have, or your video went out for me, but a lot more attention on Qlik SaaS.
Oops, sorry.
Yep, that's fine. I'll unshare my screen or your screen. And if you want to go back and try your camera, sometimes you can turn it on, stop your cam and start it again, and it'll come back. And while we're going, I'll just ask folks, like, what's your favorite crypto coin? Question mark. And we'll see what folks have asked or what their favorites are. And we'll pull this up on the screen while you're getting your video back there. We'll give it a second. If you refresh StreamYard, it might actually, it will kick you out for a second, but it'll bring you right back in. We can pick up from there maybe.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Okay, yeah, no worries. I'll do an audience poll. So crypto coins. That's you got me. It's Dogecoin, right? It's not Dogecoin. All things in tech are resolved by have you tried to reboot it? Yes. Thanks, Eric. Classic Bitcoin. Eric, I think that was you that put it in. I kind of have my other screen over here. With Bitcoin, were you an early adopter in that? Were you able to quit your job and invest in things? And Yogi, I'm going to add you in and back in. There we go. Now I see you. So just asking, what were folks' first entry into crypto? And I guess question for you too, Yogi. As you're getting this stuff reshared, what was the first one that you kind of brought you in? How did you get into cryptocurrencies and thinking about this stuff?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So cryptocurrency, a long time ago, I actually met a very talented Qlik developer who kind of got me into the cryptocurrency world. Okay. Can you see my screen okay?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Sorry about that. Oops. Hold on.
I saw it for a second there, and then it swapped over to your camera.
Yeah.
There's Chrome. Here, we'll let you get that. No worries. I've done it so many times, and then I changed locations and tried to stream, and I was like, I got to get a better Wi-Fi. This thing is acting up. But no worries there. Yeah. So what was your first crypto coin, Yogi?
So, okay, there we go. Sorry. I don't like Macintosh computers, by the way, guys. So
okay. They're not a sponsor. Don't worry.
Sorry. I love iPhones, but definitely not a big Mac guy. So, so my first, long time ago, I met a very talented Qlik developer, and he got me into the whole cryptocurrency world. This was back when, oh man, Bitcoin was sub $400 or $500 per coin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so back then I told him, I was like, man, I don't know how to get a hard wallet. And I don't know any of that stuff. Like to me, it was just like magic. I couldn't figure that out. And so I got, I kind of got in pretty early. I got in around $800 per coin. And then I freaked out and sold around a couple thousand. And now it's like, I think it's over 50K today. So, but yeah, so anyways, that was my foray into cryptocurrencies. I have like a very strong love for them, but they don't always love me back.
Right.
I'll tell you stories as we go along, but yeah. So sorry. So this is a decision engine. So what it's going to do is it's going to take champion versus challenger. It's going to go through its decision capabilities, and then it's going to pick a winner. Now, again, that's very basic. You could write an if statement to do that. So this is just really to showcase what a decision engine can and can't do. So also, it'll make the logic to determine, okay, if Bitcoin loses, I'm going to push Bitcoin to last defeated. If Bitcoin wins, I'm going to push the challenger over to last defeated. So by the click of this button, and I'll just showcase it. So obviously, Ethereum wins. So now Ethereum is going to take over the championship crown, and then Bitcoin's going to
move over there. They were last defeated.
Nice. I also want to describe what's going on here. So we put in a quick definition just so people can read what each coin is about. For those who are not super sure what Ethereum does, it's programmable contracts, and it's also can be used as a cryptocurrency just for trading. Some more background information. The before price, it's a 3-year return on investment. So the 3-year mark is November 4th, 2018. Which is starting price for Ethereum was about $210. And then the ending is going to be November 4th of this year. So I built this about a month ago. So it's 1 month long behind. Also, this, to explain this better, the return on investment, for every $1 you put in, you would have gotten 2,097 return on investment, or alternatively, for each dollar you put in, visual down here, you would have gotten $20.97 in addition to your $1 back. So that is pretty impressive. But you can see over here, Binance Coin, and just to show you how big of a difference it is, visually, you can see how much more dollars you would have had if you would have invested that $1 in Binance Coin.
You even have to like zoom out to see that much money.
That's like Floyd Mayweather's table money.
Yeah. Somebody in the audience, it was Eric again, said he highly recommend Bitcoin Billionaires as a book by Ben Mesrich. I'm not sure if I said that right. As an enthralling read, probably some creative license in the story, but he's a fan of the work.
Interesting.
I haven't really read anything on it. I'm like, ooh, okay, I have $10 that, I didn't get a coffee or something, a couple times this week. So I'm going to go into Coinbase on my phone, or Square Cash I've sometimes used, where they have little things like if you invite somebody, you get some cryptocurrency, and I'll throw it in a random thing. And then luckily, I think safely forget about it, and then come back and go, whoa, I should have put like $1,000 in that instead. And did the similar thing with Bitcoin early on. I don't know why I did it when I got into it, but it was under $100 of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I had a full Bitcoin for that one, and then panicked, and I was like, oh, it's up to 280. That's a pretty good return.
Yeah.
And left it. And I probably wouldn't be here today, right, if I had left it alone and would have had multiple houses and a boat and all that good stuff.
That's right.
You never really know. It's just it's incredible how this stuff is taking off. And you said there's 25 coins in this, right? That you've put into the challenge, right?
Yes, that's correct. So we've just went through 2. We're on the 3rd one. So Bitcoin obviously lost. Ethereum is number 2, and then Binance is number 3. So I just chose in order the top 50 most valuable coins today by net valuation. So I also took out stable coins. Obviously, we don't care that a stable coin has stayed stable over the last 3 years. Obviously, that's what it's intended to do. And from there, I whittled down to about 25 of the most popular that people have most likely heard about. So most of these you've probably heard of. There's probably going to be a few that you've probably never heard of. But yeah, so the interesting thing is we all know how crazy cryptocurrency has been over the last 3 years. But a big question that I have is, do you guys think that any of the major known ones are going to take the championship title, or alternatively, Do you think it'll be one of the smaller coins that you've probably never heard of? And then another big question is, are we going to see any that would have gotten us a negative return on investment, which for cryptocurrency is a tough question because, cryptos have been going off the charts. So
yeah, that's the volatility in the market, right? So we'll give some folks a minute to, and I want to throw this out to the LinkedIn, right? So do you think there will be a new champion coin? If I phrase that right way, versus the old stuff, right? The ones that people know, the Bitcoins, Ethereums of the world. So let's see what people think.
I want to share a story with you guys. So I had someone come up to me a few years ago, and they had a problem. They were running a procurement office for a large, it's a pipe fitting company, and their problem was they had $20 million in excess inventory. So that was inventory that they weren't selling, that they weren't using for any of their products, and it was just sitting there. And oftentimes they would do these large sales and they would sell their inventory for pennies on the dollar. And that's awful. For any company to sell 10 cents on the dollar of $20 million, you're losing money. So every year it would go up about $1 million. They would add to their excess inventory by about $1 million. And so they came to me and asked me, how can we fix this? And so we solutioned out for them a decision engine, which is exactly what I'm showing you today. But this decision engine was much more complex. So the benefit that this decision engine did is it took all their data from all of their warehouses all across the US. And anytime someone wanted to buy something, immediately it would first go to the decision engine. They would put in, okay, I want to buy pipe 2A and I need 1,000 of them. It would search for every warehouse to see if it had 2,000 of them.
They already had them somewhere.
Exactly.
Wow.
By taking that step out of the human hand and using a decision engine to check for it, it would come back and it would make one of three decisions. One, either we have all of the pipes that you need and we'll just ship it automatically to your warehouse, or two, we have most of what you need or some of what you need, and then we're going to automatically provision for those other remaining, let's say 500 pipes that is missing. Lastly, we don't have any of that, and then it automatically just sends you straight to the provisioning offer. So that was super powerful. They went from excess inventory additions of 1 million every year down to 200,000. So they were saving $800,000 per year.
Wow.
Removal of their excess inventory. So they were selling 200,000, but I would take 200,000 over 1 million any day of the week.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, this type of stuff is, I don't think maybe folks are using their analytics solution to do that stuff, which is, they were originally called decision support systems, right?
Yep.
Before they were business intelligence and dashboards and visualizations. They were supposed to help with all that, but lots of data issues. Qlik's awesome with that, right? Bringing together what I imagine is all those different warehouses and different data sets, like spreadsheets and all kinds of things, and then connecting the dots between it all. That's really cool. And so you kind of use that as the basis of let's battle out the cryptos.
That's right. So this again, very rudimentary, but this shows you the power that you have at your fingertips. You can actually help users make real decisions. And one thing I forgot to mention, with Vizlib Writeback, you are able to actually implement it just using Vizlib. So you could use Vizlib for the decision engine, and then you could use the solution using Vizlib Writeback capabilities or collaboration in general. So it's a match made in heaven. You could do all of this with vanilla Qlik, but it's way more difficult. So I highly recommend that if you are looking to build something like this for one of your clients, make sure you get Vizlib. It will save you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So people know we're not paying you, by the way. You're saying this all on your own. And I really appreciate you saying that. Yeah, we have, it's awesome to see all the different uses that people have. And that writeback side especially has been just opening up entirely new processes. Like you said, we work with somebody that they already had SAP, and they're like, but we want to do intradaily updates for our supplies and our manufacturing that we're doing. We could do that in SAP, of course, but it's going to take a lot of programming to get to what we need. And they built it in Writeback to kind of augment what they have with intradaily updates and keep track of things, or note that a machine went down at this point in time, and that's why at the end of the day the output was lower. but they had already noted it early on with write back. So that's cool. We could talk for days, I imagine, with that stuff. We had a couple people say the new champions, something on the Polkadot system was interesting. And Solana, I think I've seen that name, but I haven't invested in that. Another person said it would be interesting to see a multi-coin aggregated fund that you could come up to diversify. And that's interesting. Have you heard of any like mutual funds that are putting cryptos together?
They did. I know there was one. It made the news. I don't remember what it was called, but what it did is it just, you could invest into that fund. It was like some sort of fund on a stock exchange where you could invest in there, and they would invest either in Bitcoin or Ethereum or maybe even an aggregate, but don't quote me on that. But there is something you can invest your money into the stock market. But
yeah, if anybody knows what that is, feel free to throw that in the chat and we'll serve it up. But maybe you don't want to share that so that you can be the only investors in it.
That's right.
This other person, Michael, says he had 1 Bitcoin and a bunch of alts. Altcoin, is that what they're called? Like just not Bitcoin, and he's bullish on the entire Polkadot and tokens within. I don't know if that story continues. Like, I know Michael, so still has a great job. I don't think he's retired early or anything. And then somebody says inventory arbitrage is magic when it's driven by the right decision engine. That just recaps what you said, right?
That's right.
There's a BlackRock Bitcoin ETF.
Oh, really?
BlackRock's a huge investor, right? In all kinds of technologies. And Gemini is doing a lot around ETFs and mutual funds. Man, I'm learning so much from this. Thank you all. Yeah, I'm telling you, just like Paul Van Sicklin, who was my peer at Qlik, he was on the financial services team and I was on healthcare. He had this whole story about if you love Starbucks and you get your fancy coffee every day or even every week, and instead you invested that $7 to $10 in just a fund that could snowball, he's like, you'd be a millionaire in X number of years. He had it down to the penny and the exact date and time if you had invested in a certain thing. And that sticks with me. So anytime I'm like, well, I could do that, or I could make my own coffee and I'll throw some money in this thing. I haven't ended up to be a millionaire yet, but I have all this stuff just kind of floating around. So this is interesting. Have you used this then to say, maybe I need to swap this crypto into a different one? And I don't know, do you have fees to do that, right? If you move it into a different coin?
Yeah, a lot of the exchanges will charge you fees and stuff to switch coins. Yeah. And I think the worst one, gosh, which is the one that I have tried to stay away from is, oh gosh, I can actually tell you, give me 1 second, is actually Coinbase, the one you're referring to. They were charging me so many fees, even though like I would sit there and make 20-30% on my money, but they charge you a fee on your total coin that you have. So if you put in, let's say, $100,000 and you make $10,000, they're going to take 5% of your total coin cost. So you're going to,
when you exchange it or get it out. Yeah.
You're going to lose, I don't quote me on the rate, I don't remember what it was, but it's let's just say you lose that 5% of your total net worth instead of your gains. So it makes it much more difficult to sell on Coinbase. But there's a few others that people use. In Texas, the number one is actually banned. So we can't use, again, I can't remember what the name is, but yeah. So it is okay with you. I want to just share one more capability and then click on next.
Yeah, let's challenge a few more. You probably know the icons for these coins now, but I feel like I've seen some of these, and the artists that make these coins, I'm like, that's a cool logo.
Yeah. So there's a few in here that are not so beautiful though. We'll get to those. So
yeah. Okay.
Okay. So all right, so we've pushed through. Binance Coin is now taking over Ethereum Wealth. So Cardano obviously is not going to win with $26 return on investment versus the $67.50. But a big question for you guys, the next one coming up is Ripple. A lot of you guys have heard of Ripple. So please let us know if you think Binance Coin is going to be dethroned by Ripple. So I know, I think one person mentioned that they were, I guess, betting for Ripple, or maybe it was a different one. Yeah.
Yeah, let's we'll give him a second because I know there's a slight delay, but I threw it out in the channel. So let me throw it on the screen here. Ripple, will it win? And we'll test people's knowledge here of the 3-year return on investment. So, man, from a $9.55 to $6.54.
That's crazy. In 3 years. Yeah. Could you imagine, like any other asset class? Like imagine if your house went up 67 times. It's just
that's incredible. Yeah. Yeah, and here we are. It's interesting, like how people get into it, and I think that's where the Coinbases of the world and others that just maybe gift you a small slice of a crypto so you can kind of watch it.
Yep.
It's really interesting, and that for folks that are not so financially savvy like myself, it just made it really easy to just go, oh, I connected my debit card and I threw some money in there. I'm not like maybe it doesn't work for some people and you have tendencies to just go and gamble all of your money away, but they set those limits in there too, I think, to help prevent some of that.
Yeah.
But it's really easy to get in, I feel like. And so if you haven't tried it, put $100 in Bitcoin and see what it does, and just leave it alone and watch it. It might go up or down, but why not?
One thing that I don't recommend anyone doing, but it made the news, I think it was yesterday. One of the markets, they allow you to buy cryptocurrencies on credit, and that is such a dangerous idea. I mean, you could like leverage your coins to buy more coins, but to buy on credit, so leveraging a coin is different. It's still dangerous, but at least you're leveraging something for additional cash so you can buy more of something. But to just out of thin air borrow money to then buy cryptocurrencies, that's gambling, and I definitely recommend that. So, but that made huge news. Yeah.
Yeah. Michael says it's a tough call with Ripple because it wins the battle with the SEC. If it wins, it's easily a top 5 and would surpass the Binance Coin.
Oh wow.
Should we give it a shot? Yeah. Let's see. I really don't know.
Oh man. Okay. So Ripple only went up 144. So if for every dollar you would have put in, you would have gotten $1.40 back.
Why is it so popular, you think?
I think it's because of what it can do. So since it's a payment settlement coin, I think that's why. It kind of like Ethereum. Ethereum to me, so just for everyone to know, the only thing I do invest in is Ethereum. I love Bitcoin. I love like I'll ride waves up of like altcoins that are being hyped up and stuff just for quick cash. But the only thing that I truly love and I feel like can go the full mile is Ethereum. So Bitcoin obviously it's gold. So it's very stable. It's been very stable. But for me personally, I just love Ethereum. I think it's where money's gonna be at now.
We have another person say, thanks, Joe and Yogi. Very interesting. It's Ethan. Hey, Ethan. It's good to see you again. And then AAA coin tranches coming on Moody's rating tables any day now. I know those words, but man, that is so over the top of my head. I wouldn't even think to go to Moody's to look at this stuff. I'm just, you hear about it and I track some of the news, right? Ethereum, and maybe you're the same way why you invest in it, is that it's so multi-purposed and the technology that it's driving, the, safe contracting and things like that, distributed contracts, is super interesting in multiple industries, where maybe Bitcoin it's still it's a finance related currency thing, but it's not driving a lot of things. It's a transactional type of coin versus you can build applications on the Ethereum chain, right? Is that why you think you're attracted to it? It's just like you've watched it and the return on it, or it's not as volatile as the others? I'm kind of curious why.
So exciting. Up next, we've got Dogecoin. I know a lot of people out there are excited for this one. So is there any way we can do like, is there an option for us to do like, if you think Dogecoin will be Binance Coin?
We can have people maybe find the emoji for dog and just type that one in there. So you can do this we're live on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So I'll see comments come in through any of these channels. So if you want, vote with some dog emojis if you think Dogecoin is gonna beat out Binance, right? It would beat Ripple, I imagine.
Oh yeah.
And we have like Elon Musk, right, hyping this coin for whatever reason, just because he wants to watch the world burn, I feel like at times.
Yeah. And so 3 years ago, it was almost nothing, and even in the last maybe 6 months, it has skyrocketed. So I would imagine it's got to be able to beat 144, no problem. But 67 times, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that's a huge return. Let's see. We'll give people one more second. Either thumbs up, thumbs down. Is the challenger gonna make it, or put in the dog icon there? Say while we're waiting out. Traditional financial organizations were originally very anti-crypto until they realized they could sell it. I watched that too, and I think that's when I started looking at it a little bit more. Was like, Citi is investing in this. Organizations are now maybe taking some of their free cash and putting it into a Bitcoin or Bitcoins, of course. Michael's got a vote in for the dog. Let's see if anybody else wants to. They're quiet because they don't want to give away their investing tactics. No, we should put this on Twitter, and then Elon could say something about it.
You retweet us. That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. It would probably crash our stream.
Maybe while we're waiting, I do want to show. So this is just like a cool. Okay, so one of the big negatives that I think a lot of developers know about Qlik Sense. So the migration from QlikView to Qlik Sense is we lost our layering capabilities. With Vizlib, obviously you get that layering capability back. So like right here, I added the ability to just click, the name of the coin, and then it will show you a
nice
cool chart, to show you. And this is over the 3 years, so you can visually see, wow, look at that. About maybe a year ago, there was a huge spike up, and it just continued up, and then it kind of went back down, and then again we went through another spike. And then also you can do for XRP as well. So you can kind of see, okay, there wasn't as big of a spike about a year ago for XRP comparatively, but they had a pre-spike over here. So that's interesting. So that's the layering capability that you have in Vizlib. It is unbeatable. So I highly recommend, if you guys are using KPI managers or the KPI object in Vizlib, this is such a cool feature that you can implement for a lot of.
Are you able to hit edit, or will it break where you're at in the flow?
No, it should be okay. So
I'm curious. Yeah, how many KPI designers are you? Okay, you have the image up top.
Yep.
That are a separate object, and then basically all of that information is one KPI designer with, is that 12 layers?
That's right, 12 layers. And so each of these is actually running off of, again, I'm not very good at Macintoshes. I'm sorry, guys. So let's see if I can't. Oh no. There we go. Okay. Sorry. So what I've done is I've built master items for some of these items. So this, I wanted to be a master item just so it would be static. It wouldn't move. It wouldn't be dependent on where it was placed. So that's for the champion. Champion description, this is what's going to change. So if I show here, and let me click there. Okay. So this is using this variable, v champion, that I've created, which is logic based. So this is, again, where the decision engine capability comes in. So we're looking for a symbol that's equal to this specific v champion. And I'll show you here in a second that variable capability. So it's going to pull the only description for that v champion. It's going to pull off of, I built an inline table just for that. A lot of definitions that you guys are going to see, I didn't make. So if you disagree with the definition, go yell at someone online. I didn't make it. So, but okay, so let's go back into the variables and I'll show you. So for v champion, what it's going to do is it's going to come in here and it's going to grab where I create a field, a key field 3ID, and then give for the v champion num and then symbol. So if I go to v champion num, it automatically will start with 1. And then, sorry, I'm going to jump around because this for for this capability to work, for decision engine to work, you do have to layer your logic set. So when I click, oh, it's right here. So if I click on next, this is a Vizlib button. And inside Vizlib button, we have what's called actions and navigation. And
Yes.
for each of these, I've set up an action. So I set a variable value, and I change the vChallenger num to vChallenger num +1. So that makes sense. I'm always going to increment my vChallenger by 1. But for champion, it's more complicated. So what it's going to do is it's going to say, hey, look, take the change of the champion versus the change of the challenger, which this is our return on investment change.
Okay.
If the champion is greater than the V challenger, then we're going to keep the V champion, else it's going to give challenger. So I didn't do greater than or equal to because I figure, hey, if challenger comes in and ties even at 0.1%, I'm just going to give it to the challenger. So so that's that entire logic chain. So to build that component of the decision engine, it utilizes, I think we went through 3 steps just to be able to change one thing. And so the benefit of doing it this way is no matter how much new data you get, no matter how much your data changes, it's always going to go properly through those steps, and you never have to go in and change it. So yeah, huge benefit. It also makes it much easier for users. Like literally all I'm doing is pressing a button. I don't have to go in. I don't have to make selections. I don't have to do anything else. It automatically makes it so easy for users. They just press a button and they're good to go.
That's awesome.
Real quick, is it okay if I just go to Dogecoin before I continue explaining the editing?
Yeah, I think we had 2 or 3 votes for it to unseat Binance Coin. Let's see.
All right. So we officially have a new champion. Dogecoin, you can see the dollars down here. So Dogecoin, for every dollar you would put in, you would get $83.24 back. So sadly, I've modified this format to only show 2 decimal places, but this would be, I think it's like 0.05 or something. And so, yeah, so it went from less than 1 cent to 26 cents, which is crazy. And again, that is just astronomically insane. Our next competitor is Litecoin. So let's just see if Litecoin can take over. And I don't think so, yeah. So Litecoin only brings in about $2.85. So just real quick, going back. So same thing with the other components of the decision engine. So what you would do is you would go in, so to make it easier for this type of decision engine, you just build specific variables for whatever you are changing or whatever you're deciding. So the things that I'm deciding are who's going to be the next challenger, who's going to be the champion, and who's going to be the current challenger. So next challenger is Bitcoin Cash, but the current challenger right now is Litecoin.
Okay.
So yeah, and then everything else, everything you see here minus this title is going to change based on whatever those variables are, including how much cash we have, the return on investment, the starting and ending price, and it's all going to be looking up through set analysis, all in the front end. So there's very little back end manipulation. This is all front end. You can, and maybe you guys in the future, if you want to see this, maybe we can, but we can build on the back end logic similar to this, and we can imitate machine learning in Qlik on the back end. And if you guys are interested, maybe we can build it in real time. But
interesting.
I can guarantee you it'll be the world's slowest machine learning you'll ever see. It'll take a minute just to do maybe 1,000 rows. So yeah, again,
it's super powerful, right? Because I've seen this before. If an organization just doesn't have, this was years ago too. So low code ML, auto ML didn't really even exist. And
right.
They were, well, we can't take the data out and give it to a Python server. We're not going to run that. We don't have R, but we can stack these things with Qlik expressions. And so they were really handy at it. And they were building, what I would consider actual applications versus a dashboard. So I agree. It's super powerful. It can do so many things. Is it the best place to do it? Maybe not. But that you have the flexibility to do that is, you can make it super fun. I mean, you've built this is a decision engine. This is not a dashboard. There's something different going on here. That's really cool.
And I you kind of hit on something there. So as in the analytics world, we're so focused on just providing analytics, and that's it. And it's kind of morphed in the last couple of years to where now people are thinking of forecasting / machine learning / even AI. Some people are calling it AI, but we have glanced over, like we went from analytics to machine learning, and we've skipped something in the middle. And that something in the middle is exactly this. It's giving the user some sort of automation, whether it's full automation or whether it's decision engines or some sort of user control capability. I know way back in the day with Qlik View, a lot of times the winner of the design competition they would have every year at Qlik would be someone who would incorporate some sort of either decision engine or some sort of user control or some sort of layering system that could actually control the entire application. There are some today I've seen in Qlik Sense that still utilize that features, those capabilities, but it's few and far between. So again, if you guys are looking for something to implement or even just to offer to your clients, tell them about decision engine. Say, hey, is there something? And usually if a client comes to you and they have 3 keywords that they say, and it's almost always the same keywords. I want to limit, I want to control, I want to remove something from a user. 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you, if you use a decision engine or some sort of user control layering system similar to decision engines, you can offer this service to them, and 9 times out of 10, they won't take it. So they won't take it because they don't know that it exists. When they think analytics, they just think of pretty graphs, data that feeds into these line charts, bar charts, pie charts, all these things, maybe even a table or two, the dashboard, analytics, reporting. But they don't ever think of something like decision making. So,
and I'm sure it hurts your feelings as much as it does mine, where you put all this work, you pour it into a nice looking dashboard, and they go, does it export to Excel?
That's right.
And you're like, no, the whole point is to get you out of that. And then you get to that next level, which is, well, how do we make it even better than Excel? You probably have to do something with it. Let's make your job easier. Let's give you, in the case of like write back, check boxes, so you can say you did this thing that the data told you to do, and record that and make it more of a workflow or action based dashboard than just something visual where you're like, yeah, I don't get that sand key diagram. I just want a table of data. So it's good. I love that you have that approach and you're thinking about that, of how to keep them interested in it, right?
Oh yeah,
make it useful.
It can be pretty tricky, especially for people who've never had to deal with the logic capabilities of using Qlik. And sorry to go back to Qlik View days, but back in Qlik View days, oftentimes to find a solution for something, we had to use so many variables to control our actual applications. So I know a lot of the old time developers, and I'm not even that old, but a lot of the old time developers, they had to use variables. So if you are running into any issues, just reach out to me on LinkedIn. I will help you guys. If there's anything that you want to learn more about variabilization or some sort of decision engine control, just reach out. I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm super eager to help. So
perfect. And we'll be sure to get your contact information in here too, and we can do it after a little bit here, unless you had something to throw on the screen. But somebody mentioned, if you don't name this app Coin Mash, it's a missed opportunity. Coin Mash.
I like it. Okay. You know what? Let's rename it. Okay.
Easy. It's live. We can do it. There you go, Eric. And that whistling sound you hear is my soul leaving my body slowly to ask people to make beautiful ML-powered data decisions and then export to PDF or Excel. I totally agree. Yeah.
Okay. And
that's great. Coin Mash. We can go on Fiverr, or what is it? Yeah, where you can get somebody to design a logo real quick, and you get something beautiful out of it.
Man, I love Fiverr. It's so good. Yeah.
It comes in handy for the weirdest things. You're like, I could do that, but I bet there's an expert that could do it so much faster.
Yeah. And the cool thing about Fiverr is you can work with people all across the world. and they're so good. Like, it's crazy to see how good they are. Joe, I don't know if you know this about me, but I actually developed video games as a kind of side hobby.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so I work with artists because I can't draw with anything. Like, my wife, she'll make fun of my drawings. She'll show it to people at parties and stuff just to show them how horrible my
Oh no.
like, thanks, sweetheart. Like, you're so kind to me. But my art is really bad. Anyways, so on Fiverr though, I get to, like, I've worked with there was a Russian lady that was really good, and she actually developed some of the best artwork in one of my games. And it's just gorgeous. And you get to work with so many people. I've worked with Italian, Swedish, Russian, Indian, Egyptian. I mean, you name it. And so that's a really cool feature. But anyways, okay. So just so I don't waste any more time, let's just keep going. How about we just go through all these and see who the winner is? Does that sound
if
okay?
they can unseat it, yeah.
Okay. So Bitcoin Cash, man, that's awful. 10%. 3 years. I mean, the stock market averages 5. So, you would have been way better off investing in the stock market than investing in Bitcoin Cash. So that's just awful, awful, awful. VE Chain. I love VE Chain, by the way. I feel like this technology is amazing, and I'm shocked that not every vendor in the supply chain world is not using this. So go look up their website. They use tokens actually control to figure out where your package is, like even on trucks, on ships, on rail cars, all that stuff. So they can, in real time, they know where all these packages are. A really cool technology. And they use the cryptocurrency world as their I guess, blood supply. Like, that's how they actually, and don't quote me on this, but like, they mine their data to be able to support their entire product. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. Yeah, I threw it out there too to see if anybody's heard of it for supply chain management, right, is the main thing.
Yep. Very, very, very powerful. So Stellar comes in at only 42%. Again, not great, but I'll take almost 50% on my dollar any day of the week. So
I think this is one that I got. Coinbase was giving out Stellar Lumens or something like that. If you took a little quiz and they'd give you like a portion of it. I'm like, well, yeah, this one's not going anywhere. I'll just hang on to that little slice that they gave me.
Yeah. So cryptocurrency, crypto.com, $16 return on investment. Not bad, not bad. So far we haven't been able to unseat Dogecoin, but now we've got Filecoin, excess storage marketplace, again, 15%, or 15 times, $15 and almost 50 cents for every dollar you invest. A great investment.
Yeah.
So we got Tron coming in at almost $4 for every dollar you put in. Again, not bad. So far, we haven't seen anyone negative. Okay, look at this. We're almost exactly tied.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Theta. I don't think I've heard of that one.
I have not.
It's not that popular, right? Oh, and it started at 9 cents effectively.
9 cents to $7. Yeah. I'm curious to see if anyone has any Theta coins, or if it's just purely if you have to work for them or something.
I'll throw it out there to see.
All right, here we go. Look at this. We've got Phantom smart contract.
Wow.
2 cents to $2.88 in 3 years. And look at how many dollars we have in the bottom right. I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. It's almost double what Dogecoin has done in 3 years. And I still haven't made a Phantom. Yeah. So very curious. So now we have a new champion. So of course, obviously, the decision engine will push this over to replace Dogecoin, and then Dogecoin will now be our last.
Well, we have Michael in the audience that says he has all of these Theta and VE Chain and Phantom.
Really?
Man, yeah, go buy a house and then invite us to it somewhere in the one in the Bahamas or something.
Michael, I will give you my money, and I just need to invest.
Yeah, if you know us, that's great.
So, okay, Ethereum Classic is obviously not even going to come close. And we've got Tezos coin, which is not going to come close. This is my least favorite coin, by the way, logo, Decentraland. It's two pyramids with two suns. I don't like it. It's got that retro, like 1970s, maybe vibe to it. I'm not big into that, so I don't know. Maybe someone out there really likes it, but But you know, $32 return on investment, that's really good. So from 8 cents to 280, that's really good.
And are any of these, Yogi, are you aware, like Ethereum's like split and it's used in different things? Where I see like Phantom has smart contract platform. I think Ethereum does that, smart contracts as well, right? Is it on the Ethereum kind of base, or is it, do you know if it's completely separate?
I know a lot of these coins are Ethereum based. Some of them are not, but I would say like maybe 60-70% are actually Ethereum based. Again, don't quote me on that. But
Ooh, Michael says Decentraland is going to be huge in the metaverse world.
Oh, really? So that's what's going to feed to metaverse, huh? Digital real estate purchasing. That's right. You know, I had a guy that reached out today asking if I was going to buy any digital real estate, and I was like, "What the heck is that?"
It sounds so ridiculous, and so did Bitcoin, like very early days too. And you're like, maybe there's something to this. There's one of the Vizlib legends, Robert, who did an early episode with us. He did the 3-dimensional objects that can rotate in Qlik.
Yeah.
And he's huge. He's huge on VR and AR stuff and XR in general, and does XR story. And so he probably knows about this stuff. I haven't seen him in the chat yet, but I'll ask Robert what he thinks about this, and if there's if there's something else in the metaverse that to me initially seems ridiculous. But
what is it? Like, I heard you can buy digital houses. Like what does that mean? Like what do I do with a digital house?
I don't know if Josh is on the line. He's and you've played video games too. That whole like, okay, you can equip your characters with these things that you purchase for real money, but to me, it's digital goods. And somebody just mentioned it's like Second Life.
Second Life
in the day, and you could buy things there and use real money to get things digitally, and that leads into that whole NFT side of things, right?
And Ready Player One.
Kind of own.
Yeah. The whole Ready Player One, and then you've got I know Minecraft's big on that whole digital assets, and there's another one too, Roblox or something. But
yeah, that's massive.
Yeah,
it's making kids millionaires. Roblox, isn't that the one?
Man, we grew up in the wrong time, Joe. Like,
I mean, it gives me like a moment, and I think this is where Robert comes in, and others are saying like, you own property in VR space for advertising. So that's interesting. If you're in the metaverse and wasn't that like in Ready Player One? There was just built-in advertising everywhere. Yeah. They're going to pay money to put those billboards in your games and in your virtual reality spaces. So somebody lands on your property, they have to pay up. Like Monopoly, but digital.
So, have you ever bought an NFP?
I've looked at it. I see people with those monkey cartoons, right? The generated, what is that?
Non-fungible token, I think is what they call it.
Non-fungible tokens. Martin, our CEO, is big on it for some reason. I don't know if he's invested in it, but he's like, you guys got to do something around NFTs. And we may actually use it for our badging system in the future. Really? So you'll get a digital badge that you are a Vizlib champion or legend, or you've completed this training, and we'll give you the NFT of it. So it's your personal badge, and it, it's generated. And then we can track it back to the actual person, and so you don't have people just going out copying your certifications. That awesome. I see like legitimate real world use, and it's more than art, is what other people are saying. So I think we struck a chord with some people.
That's cool. Yeah,
it's as people are saying, life is strange.
Monero is up next. Monero's only $1.50 return on investment, so not great again. And then up next, I think it's this EOS. Yeah, EOS.
I've seen that one yet.
So we have
negative 15.
Negative return on investment. So if you would have put $1 in, you would have lost 15% of your dollar investing into EOS. So that stinks. I mean, that just hurts. Yeah.
And this data set inside and out. The 3-year time horizon for all these, is there only a handful that were negative, right? Is this the only one?
So this is the only one that I saw of the 25 that we chose. So, the other coins that were around 3 years ago. So one interesting, I'll tell you guys a little bit of backstory while I was developing this. I was originally going to do 5-year return on investment because that's what most people care about is 5-year return on investment. However, a lot of these coins started in 2017, 2018. So if I went back 5 years, there would only have been like 5 or 10 coins in the top 50 that I would have been able to show. And so, sadly, I felt like that was probably a little bit too little, but yeah. So yeah, EOS, big loser. I don't know if people are buying that for investment or if they're just buying that for their applications on WebAssembly. But yeah, so IOTA, again, we only get $1.81. And then I'll just push, I think, oh, here we go, Quant.
Quant.
20s, but that's pretty important.
Quant coins are used to pay for quant services. That seems like a racket almost.
Yeah.
We're going to develop a digital currency to pay for our digital service.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works, but it's good investment.
Wasn't there a joke that there was going to be a Qlik coin a couple of years ago?
We kept pushing for it, yeah, and it never got made.
Man.
But they missed the boat, maybe, or maybe there's still time. And we'll have like an analytics vendor get on board the Dogecoin, which I actually think is a coin, or I've heard of it. I thought.
Oh, really?
Maybe it isn't, but it seems like if it isn't, we should go out and register that website, lickety split.
Qlik Coin?
Qlik Coin, data. Well, Qlik will come after you.
That's right.
I know that having used the Q letter and logo and different things, they're like, can you please take that down or rename it? But Dogecoin seems like you can't touch that one.
Yeah. Okay, and so we've actually come to the end, and so now obviously our champion is Phantom. But a big question for you guys out there is if there's anything you want me just to show on here on how this is built, or alternatively, if you have any questions about decision engines, how they're built, what benefits, what negatives come with them, any questions, please let me know.
Yeah, we'll keep it open. Do you want to share your contact information? How do you want people to reach out to you if they have more questions? I mean, of course, you're on LinkedIn. You're in this event, so if people go back to it, they can click through to your profile. Or do you want to take them to a High Analytics website or anything like that?
So we are currently working on highanalytics.net. It'll be open probably after Christmas time. We've got a few treats coming in for that. If you want to reach out to me directly, you can reach out to me at yogi@hyanalytics.net. If you feel a more personable route is better to go, just message me on LinkedIn. I'm fairly active on there, so I'll probably be able to reach back out to you within a day or two. And yeah, and feel free for anything. I just recently started my own consulting firm. I've been in the Qlik industry now for, oh gosh, it's coming up on 10 years now. And I've been in data for almost 15 now. And so I love this industry. I've met some of the greatest people in the world, and I look forward to meeting many new people as well. So yeah, please say hi. I'm very friendly. I love speaking with everyone, and I love to help people. So anything you need help with, just reach out.
Perfect. I appreciate it. If you, I stopped sharing your screen so you can switch back and see the screen. Make sure I got your email address right there, yogi@hyanalytics.net.
That's it. Yep.
Perfect. So I'll put that on the screen. I'm not going to dare type that into the chat. Otherwise, you get a bunch of spam messages, I feel like. So we'll leave it on the screen. People can type it in. Really appreciate your time today. That was a lot of fun. I learned a lot, and it makes me feel like I should probably take the rest of the day off and go look at my investments on the coins. Yeah. Michael says, he's clapping. Thanks so much. Michael, I think we should do a recap of this maybe January, February, have you guys on here and talk through this stuff too. I'm just a novice here. So really appreciate your time here, Yogi. Cheers. Yeah, thank you so much for everything. Appy Hour today. It was really fun. Learned a ton, and we'll definitely have you back on in the future. And that decision support system stuff it's going to give us a lot to think about. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe.
Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. And thanks everybody for joining. Take care. Bye all.